St. Louis, a multicultural hotspot that proudly holds its title as one of the fastest growing foreign-born populations in the nation. From the Italian community of the Hill, where people flock to savor delectable sandwiches and classic Italian dishes underneath the shadow of its breathtaking Italian architecture, to Cherokee Street, home to the city's Hispanic community, with their vibrant streets filled with Mexican restaurants and local stores, St. Louis has always taken pride in the diversity that defines its cultural landscape. Ethnic enclaves such as the Bosnian markets in Bevo Mill, as well as the bright Vietnamese presence in the South Grand area, has shaped St. Louis into a sanctuary where different cultures and traditions can coexist, truly making St. Louis the global city of the Midwest. But how well do the students of St. Louis University High School understand this mosaic of different cultures? With SLU's expansive global education department and its several opportunities to travel abroad, some could say that SLU is thriving in this aspect. However, what about on a local level? While SLU's impressive and ever-going global ed programs help students learn new cultures around the world, could SLU work harder to educate the student body about the vast cultures hidden inside our own city? Is SLU doing enough to educate students on different cultures around the St. Louis area?
I'm Marco Wilson. I'm a student here at SLU. I played soccer here, and then outside of school, I do club soccer year round, just a lot of soccer. Me and my family live in St. Louis Hills, which is basically the outskirts of the Hill area. And then I have a pair of grandparents that live in the Hill. And really, we live like a few minutes away, so my family spent like tons of time there when we were growing up. They always like brought us into the Hill, brought us to like the church there, just let us like explore the streets and stuff, kind of just like exposing us to like the culture there. Me and my friend Paul Pham, actually, we volunteered at La Festa. I don't think SLU actually recommended it, but we found it online and volunteered there. It was really cool. A lot of Italian songs being sung, a lot of food, a lot of activities, just a lot of, I don't know, kind of just like everyone's invited, everyone can just like take part in the culture there. Yeah.
The more I grow up, the more I see that like so many other places are so freaking awesome. Like especially the Scottish games. There's all that stuff that would seem weird to us is just like so natural to them. It's like freaking awesome to see. It was really cool. It was like we did all these like different things. Like there's a stone rolling contest, and there was like ring tosses where you had to throw them up as high as you could, and there was tons of different types of food and activities you could play. And it was so much fun. I'm glad I got to experience their culture. And that's like what people are, and it's like how they're so unique. And it's like bringing all these different things to the world. Like you wouldn't want everything to just be the same, because then you never get to experience different things.
My freshman year, I went to Pamplona, Spain, and then I did the same thing this past January where I went to Honduras for my service project. And being able to like immerse myself into other communities that are very different from St. Louis has been what really has changed my perspective of how I view the world, because they get to see more of the world and see some of the culture, and it really lets you live the experience.
My name is Grayson Mueller, and I'm the leader of a few different clubs at SLU, including the SLU Center for Mindfulness and the One World Club. We had service of presence with the malnourished kids. For probably 6 hours a day, we would play with them out on the grass, we would help feed them. It is an agricultural community, but there's still a lot of malnutrition. There weren't showers with running water. We mainly had a trash can and a bowl to pour over our heads. And that was really impactful in my consumption of water and realizing how wasteful that I am in our community. just seeing new cultures, new perspectives is really important to broaden your view on life.
I'm Mr. Daniel Shields, and I am a college counselor, and I'm also the co-director of equity and inclusion here at St. Louis University High School. As a non-St. Louisan, I'm coming from Illinois. Coming to work at SLU has really opened my eyes to just the wide variety of diversity that St. Louis has. I think that SLU represents so many of those different cultural experiences in the St. Louis area. When we started the advisory system, diversity, equity, and inclusion was at the forefront of what was going to be a part of the lessons that were learned within this new program. Being able to really highlight the differences yet the similarities that students have starting from freshman year allowed students to see things from a different perspective and even have a little bit of relatability to some of the topics that we discuss.
I think SLU does a really great job of highlighting different cultures and different customs in our community, especially through the impacts of advisory, but I think they could structure and plan a little bit of the advisories more. They're doing a job right now, but they could be doing a good job.
I think SLU can do a lot better though. So I did an interview with Jesuit schools in India, and they talked about how many festivals they do, because India has like 1,000 different languages and they have like 1,000 different cultures. SLU doesn't do that. I know we have like our Chinese class sometimes throws like some sort of festival every now and then, but that's really it. I think SLU really needs to like try and maybe celebrate more of these like types of festivals. They don't have to be like taking up your studium or something, but just like an activity period, you can have that, and like just try and be aware of like other things that are going on in St. Louis. Like One World Club's doing a pretty good job, but I mean they can obviously do better.
I think it does an okay job. I think it highlights more of the diversity of the world than St. Louis. I think that it's really hard to capture kind of the cultures of St. Louis just because people tend to assimilate into St. Louis, right? So like unless you have a bunch of first generation families, so tons of people don't feel like they're part of whatever culture they're from. For me especially, like I am 25% Hispanic, 50% Filipino, and I never really felt like that until I went to Spain, I went to Honduras, and I was able to like communicate with natives and learn parts of culture that I kind of forgot that I was a part of, right? Or for like Filipino, that's why I got involved with ASA. It's less to like educate myself and more to kind of get in touch with the culture that my family kind of leaves behind. So I think that SLU does a good job, but it's less of educating and more of being an opportunity to, I guess, immerse yourself if you're up for it.
I think that it's the job of SLU to prepare well-rounded and knowledgeable young men to be able to really integrate into a diverse and beautiful world. So I think it's the job of the affinity groups and the job of SLU.
I would be so proud to have people in the community just when they hear SLU to think, oh, those are the guys who really step up and help all the members of our community. We're known to be good students who work hard, to be good athletes, but I would love to see us be known to do so much that's part of our reputation in town, is that we are students who seek and assist all cultures in this area.
I think that multiculturalism always strengthens a community and also always strengthens a student body, whether it is SLU, any other school, a college setting. Diversity is always going to make that student population stronger because you're learning different perspectives, you're learning different cultures, you're learning some things that you may have had blind spots about. So I think that that's just an indication of how strong a student body can be, whether it's at SLU or any other institution, the more culturally aware they are.
In a city as richly diverse as St. Louis, the opportunity to learn and grow alongside its many cultures is ever present. From SLU's global ed opportunities to local engagement, SLU has the tools to cultivate a student body that truly cares about the diversity in the city we call home. Structured approaches such as the advisory system aim to educate the students about the diversity that make up St. Louis. However, some argue that this system could have more of an impact and a better execution on its planning. On the other hand, student-driven groups such as the Asian Student Alliance and the One World Club allow students to learn and celebrate the diverse cultures St. Louis has to offer. With these groups, however, a strong school spirit is needed to keep these clubs thriving, and some are arguing that some affinity groups could die if there aren't enough student participation. But overall, by nurturing a deeper appreciation for St. Louis's culture, SLU can inspire students to not only be global citizens, but also local advocates for unity. The better we can understand each other, the stronger we can be as a student body. After all, our city's vibrant tapestry only deepens when we, as SLU students, come to understand and appreciate the cultures that make St. Louis unique. Alright, we're gonna start now, okay?
Okay.
With the introduction. So, Ronan, please state your name and what you do here at home.
My name is Ronan Smith. I'm a full-time student.
And what type of activities do you do here?
That's not a fair question.